Good morning, people. How are we all doing? Third day of racing. All drivers are already sitting on their carts. Everyone took your coffee. Everyone okay? How are you guys doing? Hello and welcome to one more day. We're going to race 5. Group A is already downstairs. Did you guys like the race yesterday? That last race was kind of crazy, huh? So after 4 rounds of racing, I'm going to show you guys the top 10 ranking. Here we go. So the Spaniard Juan del Valle with 147 points. He's absolutely dominating this. Tobias Lauba with 141 points in P2. Dennis Holler with 1 point less than Tobias in P3. The reigning world champion Michael Schottler in 4th place. 5th place, the Brit Sean Brierley. 6th place for Guillermo van Pamelen. P7 for Mr. Vika Schletz. P8 for Ramon Pinheiro. P9 for the Brazilian Rodrigo Vieira. P10 for Mr. Jorge Suarez. Spaniards are absolutely dominating this. There's like on the top 10, there's something like 4 or 5 Spaniards over there. So today we will not be using the small circuit. Hold up. So I have a new information. Today we will be using a joker lap. Before you make your mandatory pit stop, you will have to enter the small circuit. I don't know if you guys know, but we'll only be using the right portion of the track, the fastest track, not the small circuit. So if you're going to do your mandatory pit stop, you will have to enter the small circuit as a joker lap. Then you enter your mandatory pit stop, then follow on for your normal racing. Big news also, probably we will be giving out an award for the funniest pit stop. For now, 2 people are fighting on the top. That is Juliano Ballarin and Mason Brown from the United States, dancing Macarena. Juliano Ballarin did some push-ups yesterday. You can find that on our Instagram page at FATV Live. By the way, since you're already watching us, share the stream with your family, with your friends back home. And these are the drivers on track: Sven Baumberger, Robert De Letter, Lourenço Leite, Luis Fernandes, Damien Pointe, Lucas van Crevellen, Andres Gonzalez, Dennis Holler, Thomas Zels, Stefan Verhofste. Where was I? Stefan, David Lopez, Sandra Gomez, Gregor Capala, Emil Holling, Hugo Carvalho, Jorge Maia, Camilo Rivera, Vika Schletz, Dirk Sachet, Gerard Soto, Nikolai Marsengo, Pierre Natalie Formini, and Mr. Mason Brown. They're now doing their qualifying lap. Their Super Pole lap, as you know, only 1 lap on the big circuit. We're just fixing up our camera that is being set on the main straight. We'll have a few images in a few minutes. Ooh, someone already going into the grass, kicking up some dust as they go through sewers into the main straight. Provisional pole position for now. Dennis Holler, who is P2 right now on the rankings, right after Juan del Valle. Mason Brown for now in 2nd. Luis Fernandes, the Portuguese home driver, in 4th. Damian Puente starting P2. So Dennis Holler with a 102. Damian Puente 105. Mason Brown 106. Luis Fernandez 106 as well. Camilo Rivera in P5. Vika Schletz in P6. David Lopez. Then we have Nikolai Marcengo. Stefan Verhofstadt. Robert de Letter. Sandra Gomez. Jorge Maia. Hugo Carvalho. Dirkie Sachet in P14, Lucas Van Crevelen P15 on P16, Lorenzo Leite P17, Gerard Soto P18, Gregors Capala P19, Thomas Zels P20, Andres Gonzalez P21, the Italian Pier Natale Formini P22, Sven Baumberger, and P23, Emil Hollink with a 106.2. Sorry guys, now we have our main straight camera already fixed. Here we go, boys. Nuno Lopes waiting for the two lines being set up for the rolling start. Everyone following Dennis Holler to the left and Damian Puente to the right. Should be a good first lap for Mason Brown on the inside. Those guys on the outside will have to be extra careful on turn one, which my good friend Gerard King calls banana. A lot of Spanish crowd over here, so I got good news for you guys. Alongside me, later on, we will have Mr. Jose Burillo Gonzalez. He will be commentating along with me. Now he's with his wife and kids, having a good time. In a few minutes, or maybe a few hours, he will be right on our side. CJB halfway through already, yeah. It's going fast. Now we have today, tomorrow, and Saturday we will have semifinals, finals, and the long-awaited match race. Here we go, boys. Just about to start the race. And we're racing! So, oops. Okay, no more echo, enough echo. Dennis Holler, still in P1. Okay, let's see if Mason Brown gained one position being on the inside. Oh, look, there's a 3 wide going to turn 3 now. Everyone quiet so far. Had their breakfast, had a cup of tea. Everyone pretty calm. After that last crazy race we had yesterday, a lot of fuss going on those final 5 minutes. I particularly loved watching that. That's what you guys want. You guys want to see blood on track. You want to see fighting. Oh, there's a 3 wide into that right turn. Dennis Holler opening up a solid gap to Damian and Brown. It's a shorter circuit, as you can see. It's a pretty fast lap. Oh, Mason Brown went all the way down to P5, actually. Even though he was on the inside, he got overtaken. So Dennis Hollard, first lap, 101.0. Camilo Oliveira, 101.8. So the fight now brewing a bit more into the midfield as they do this left turn, which I kind of forgot the name. So this should be Dennis's race to lose right now. He's 8/10 faster than Camilo. Damian, and 1.5 seconds faster than Vika, but I think Vika is in a fight along with Mason, Stefan, and David Lopez. Again, coming on the first turn, kicking up some dust. Watch out for that, Nuno Lopes. Watch out for that. Our dear race director, who waves the checkered flag and the green flag. Stefan Verhofstadt losing his position. He is now P7, got overtaken by David Lopez. Dennis Holler doing a 59.6, 3:10 faster than Camilo Rivera. Damian Puentes still in third, followed closely by Vika Schleds. So you can see from P2 all the way to P5, everyone is absolutely glued together now. As I said, this should be Dennis Holler's race to lose for now. He's much faster than the other guys. So we're using kart 3. Kart 21 had a good history yesterday. Kart 3 had a good history 2 days ago. So Mason Brown starting to pick up some places now. He is now P4, just got past Vika Schleds, is now in P5. Nikolai Marsengo overtaking Stefan. Stefan lost 2 places on the last 2 laps. Still a bit of a fighting going on for P5 and P6 there. That is Vika and David Lopez. So as you see in the blue suit over there, Mason Brown starting to look over his shoulder behind, trying to communicate with Vika Schleds. He does not want to lose much time. Now he's alone in front. Going on to the left, onto the sewer, into the main straight. Dennis Holler doing a commanding race. Camilo Rivera starting to pick up the pace. David Lopez with a 59.2. This is the fastest lap, a purple lap, 2/10 faster than Dennis. If Dennis doesn't watch out, he might be caught up by Camilo, Damian, Vika, and David on that solid train coming up behind him. So far, not much fighting going on. First quarter of the race is done. 15 minutes left. Hugo Carvalho, the Portuguese driver, is in the pits. Gregor Capalla also in the pits, both of them. Dennis Holler still building a gap now, 1/10 faster than Camilo. David Lopez overtakes Mason Brown. Mason Brown drops to P6 now in the blue suit. He's right back there in the white helmet. Oh, this is not a good fight now for P2. That's Camilo, Damian, Vika, and David Lopez. Oh, now they're going 3 wide into the next turn. So who's in front? Is that still Camilo? That's a good scrap for P3 for now. Starting to communicate. Please, guys, let's not fight each other. We're losing a lot of time. Mason Brown starts closing in again on them. Dennis Holler might stop for a cup of coffee. And now Stefan Verhofstadt doing the purple lap of 59.252. He's a bit farther away from Camilo, from that first group, from that second group, I mean, from all the way from P2 to P5. Stefan Verhofstadt should be closing in on them. There he is on the red suit, black helmet. Now the guys from P3 starting to close in on Damien. Dennis Holler is nice and quiet up in front, half a second faster than Damien. Damien, with no reference in front of him, is losing the gap to Vika. Vika being pushed by Camilo and David Lopez. But Stefan Verhofstadt on the red suit, black helmet, is starting to close in on them. These guys are fighting way too much. With 12 minutes still left on the race, could be a bit early to fight. They should try and pull up a gap and go to the front. So Stefan is closing in on them. He has the purple lap, the best lap of the race with a 1:252. As you can see, one driver already going into the Joker lap. So he's gonna make his pit stop.
Eu sei. Ah, ele pegou agora.
So there he goes, completing his Joker lap. Pitting in, that's Vika Schlitz, Mason Brown, and Emil Hollink. So Mason Brown should be doing some dancing for sure. Where's Mason? He's on the right. As I said. Oh, staying alive, doing a Bee Gees move. That's a good move for him. Go, Mason. Go, boy. Oh, yeah. So there will actually be an award for the funniest pit stop, guys. We actually have a trophy for that already. Oh, and he comes right back behind. Looks like, I think that's Stefan Verhofstadt in front of him. So actually Mason Brown comes out right behind Stefan Verhofstadt, but one lap behind. So we have about a total of 59 to 1 minute total lost time doing the Joker, doing your pit in lap and your out lap. Thomas Zels now coming into the pits. All the field starting to settle down a bit. Nikolai Marcinko just went past Stefan. I think Stefan is in the pits actually. I think he went for his Joker lap and pit in lap. So that's still the fight for P2. Damian and Camilo Rivera. Dennis Haller is all alone in front. Can stop for a cup of coffee. Nice and quiet race for him so far. So this is Stefan, who was coming in really fast on these previous laps. He has the fastest lap of the race so far. Trying to see his name. Right behind him, that's Andres Gonzalez stopping. Here we go. Here we go. One more Macarena. Oh, yeah. Good job, boy. Oh, let me see what the chat thinks of this.
Qual será?
Diogo Córdovas de Puga, bom dia. Qual será o layout do circuito usado no sábado? Ainda não está definido, ó, Diogo. A organização do evento ainda não definiu. So we have a lot more people stopping now. That is Jorge Maia, Lucas Van Crevelen, Robert De Letter, and Pier Natale Formini. So as we see, still Damian Puente, Camilo Rivera, and David Lopez scrapping for P2. Dennis Haller still all alone in front, couple of seconds ahead. 7 minutes and a half to the race finish. Half the field has pitted. Mason Brown might have done a good job pitting early. He should be all alone on track right now. Meanwhile, Camilo and David still fighting for position. That might give Mason Brown a bit of a jump ahead. Yet his last lap was a 1:06. These guys are fighting, did a 59.5 and a 1:01. So maybe Mason Brown will not be able to pick up the pieces from the fights from these guys ahead. Fábio Cunha, bom dia, do Brasil que ainda nem clareou. Drag 577, anyone knows what happened yesterday? Yeah, I think 3 penalties were handed out. I think Cody got a penalty, Gerard King got a penalty, and Kenneth also got a penalty for pushing Cody out of the track. So 3 guys got penalties, which rendered Rafael Santini a P3 finish. And 1 more medal to his collection. Now the fight should be for P3. Damian pulling up a gap in front of David and Camilo. Camilo pushing David forward, trying to reach Damian's P2 right now. Mason Brown, let me check his lap. That was a 55.9, so he's actually losing time, not having the slipstream from these guys. He's a couple of seconds behind him, having made the Joker lap and the pit stop. Now we're reaching the final portion of the race. 5 minutes left. This is the last quarter. So top 7 should be going in pretty soon. Sandra Gomez, Camilo, Dennis, Damian, David, Nikolai, Sandra Gomez, and Lorenzo Leite should be going into their Joker lap and pit-in lap pretty soon. So now David pulls all the way ahead, looks to the inside, pulls back behind Damian. Andy Brown. Are you Mason's, I don't know, cousin, brother, something? I love the dancing pit stops. Shows the competition is strong, but they are having fun. Yeah, Mason so far, that's my boy, doing the best dancing on the pit stops. I mean, since you're all the way across the ocean over here. Oh, you're his father. Thank you for being with us, Andy. Thank you for being with us, man. You have a really cool kid. I talked to him yesterday. He's a really nice kid. So Dennis Holler, our race leader, is in. Nikolai Marsengo, who was in P6, I think, is also in. That's our leader, Dennis Holler, getting ready to get out of his pit stop, joker lap and pit stop. There he goes, Nikolai Marsengo pulling up on the white line. Should be going right ahead now. Let's see how Dennis Holler comes out of the pits in comparison to the other guys. He's supposed to be the leader, the net leader of the race. We're still following, I think that is Camilo, Damien, and David. Sandra's still not in as well. Oh, that was a bit rough into the pits. So that's Damien and David Lopez coming into the pits. Only Sandra Gomez left. Here they come. Now is the time. Let's see how they end up coming out back on track. That's Sandra Gomez right behind on the red suit. 114 number plate. There she goes. So, we should be having now, that is 2 laps to go. Camilo Rivera in the pits. And we are following the leader, Mr. Dennis Holler. He's all alone ahead. Okay, so now Camilo is in. This is the net fight for P2 now. P2 and P3. Looks like Damien is all alone up ahead. Right behind him. Now there's a good scrap. Stefan Verhofstadt did a good job. He is now at P5. Behind him, Nikolai Marsengo. 30 seconds ago. So this should be, maybe this is already the final lap. It is the final lap. Nuno Lopez already has the checkered flag on his hands. And here he comes. This is Mr. Dennis Holler winning the first race. So it's still not over. So we have 1 lap left. Hold on. Let's not be in such a hurry. Since the timing was still not in 0, we're doing 1 more lap. Last lap only after the countdown goes all the way down to 0. So there's a good fight going on for P2. Actually, Damien is kind of alone. David Lopez defending from Stefan Verhofstadt right behind him. Let's see how they reach the finish line. For now, let us show our race leader absolutely dominating the first race of our day. This is race 5, the 5th round for Group A. Turning a bit to the right now. coming into, what did they name this turn? Into Seward to the left. Coming really fast, getting clapped. And Dennis Haller wins the first race of our third day of racing. Good scrap for P2 and P3. Hats off to Stefan for finishing P4. So Damian Puente wins the race. Sorry, he's P2. David Lopez in P3. Stefan Verhofstadt, solid job finishing in P4, just in front of Vike Schleds. Camilo Rivera, P6. Nicolai Marcengo in P7. Luis Fernandes, the Portuguese home driver, in P8. Jorge Maia, P9. Sandra Gomez, P10. P11 for Lucas Van Crevelen. P12 for Mason Brown. He lost out a bit on the race, but so far he is the top dancer on our pit lane. Big hugs to Andy, your father, Mason, my boy Mason. P13, Gerard Soto. P14, Robert De Letter. P15, Hugo Carvalho, one more Portuguese driver. P16, Lorenzo Leite. P17, Thomas Zels. P18, Andres Gonzalez. P19, Dirkie Sachet. P20, Pier Natale Formini. Gregors Kapala in P21, P22 for Emil Holling, P23, Mr. Sven Baumberger. Diogo Corvas. Let me see. Track limits at the last corner. Yeah, we actually talked to the guys, CJB, talking about it, but everyone trained like that, so they're just going to let it be. I have to agree. They could put a white line track limit, but that's what they decide, so it's the same for everyone. So the guys that were fighting for P2, P3, and P4 hugging each other downstairs, happy with each other, enjoyed this racing. That's how we do it, boys. So next race will be race 5, Group B. Drivers on track. Let me see. So next group, we will have Hedwig Heckel, Ruben Buttons, two-time world champion, Ian Lepelard, Brice Petitjean, Roman Schneider, Diego Morales, Daniel Fischberger, Kenneth Nessens, German Munoz, Luciano Trovato, Miles Goodman, Moritz Gerges, Andres Prieto, Victor Sparholt, Fernando da Silva Ribeiro, Ivan Moreno, Rico Harbosch, Luke Walter, Pablo Pardia, Logan Sunier, Lucas Urbani, Charles Decline, and my boy Cody Hartson. So guys, we're going to go for a quick cup of water and we'll be back in a few minutes. Do not leave your couch.